theCUBE at Big Data NYC 2014. Brought to you by headline sponsor, WANdisco, with support from EMC, MarkLogic, and Teradata. With hosts Dave Vellante and Jeff Kelly.
Hi everybody, we're back. Welcome to Big Data NYC. Big Data NYC is an event that SiliconANGLE Wikibon hold concurrent with Strata plus Hadoop World. We've got a number of events going on here. We're running 2 days of live CUBE here, Thursday and Friday, interviewing folks. And then today at 4 o'clock, Jeff Kelly and we got a great panel. We're going to give a capital markets presentation. We invited in a bunch of our Wall Street friends and some of our clients and other friends of the CUBE, and we're going to really unpack what's going on in this business. And then we're going to spill out at 6 o'clock to the CUBE party, celebrating 5 years of the CUBE at Hadoop World. And one of our very first guests and most interesting guests at Hadoop World was Mehta. Abhi's here, he's the CEO of Teradata, a software company solving problems in the financial services business. Abhi, always a pleasure, great to see you.
Well, congratulations on 5 years. You know, what a brilliant 5 years it's been, and it's good to be back. Always good to be back.
Thank you very much. I mean, that was an unbelievable show. We were talking, you made some great predictions. You sort of educated us on the data factory. You had some great sound bites. Sampling is dead. Hadoop is going to be big. Big data is going to be bigger than Linux, right? And it looks like those things are really coming true. At the time, a lot of people didn't even know what Hadoop was, and now everybody's doing Hadoop. You had a chance probably to be, you were at the Strata
That's right,
Hadoop World earlier. What's the vibe like over there?
The vibe is great. You know, I was telling some of my friends that in the 5 years of when Strata wasn't called Hadoop World, or Hadoop World wasn't called Strata, you know, whichever you look at it, the conversations have changed dramatically. We met 3 potential customers today, and they all want to go ahead and do deals. You know, I think it is an interesting time in big data where I think there's a realization that we're in the middle of witnessing something that's going to be very dramatic, very Darwinian, and people don't know yet what it means for them, especially the big guys. They have no clue what's going to hit. It's going to hit them hard. They're going to fall even harder. And luckily, in 5 years from now, they all realize it. So the average age of Strata or Hadoop World from 5 years ago, which was 30 years old, today it's like 50 years old, you know? So you're seeing the enterprise machines gear up to say, how hard will I be hit? What is going to be the impact? And what should I do with it? And you're seeing the customers finally embracing and saying, I buy it. This is a huge wave. The early adopters who were crazy enough to go surf it have proven it works, that I won't fall flat on my face. Let me dive in. And that dive in, that process has dramatically changed sales cycles, you know, changed what people are looking at the stack at, and where is the value in the stack. I think that remains the most interesting conversation. Where will the value lie, right? Where does enterprise software company make money? When databases, we said ETL is dead, right? Databases, ETL, visualization, storage, when all of them are free, then how do you make money? How do you convince smart customers to be foolish enough to write a check for you? And it's an interesting question, and we keep at Teradata, you know, raising the bar and proving that there is money to be made when you do interesting things.
Well, so let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah, the core of the infrastructure is really essentially free.
Correct.
And yeah, there's subscriptions on maintenance, but you have to have massive volume. If you're going to give a perpetual license, you got to have massive volume at the tail end, right? So that's a business model.
Correct.
The visualization piece is interesting. Visualization, analyzing log files. People like Tableau and Splunk make a lot of money doing that today. But then the big knock on them is, wow, it's really expensive. Open source is kind of the wild card there.
Right.
And then the other big question we always ask is, where are all the applications? That's where you guys come in. So applications always a way to make money.
Right.
So talk about what you guys are doing a little bit there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think I'll start with a very interesting story out of India. You know, how there's one guy wanted to sell watermelons, and he buys watermelons, and he fills up a cart of them, of 100 watermelons, and he buys them at, let's say, a buck a watermelon, and he goes to the market. And he realizes in the market that he can only sell them for 80 cents. And he says, that's okay, I'll make it up in volume. The reality is, when you buy something for X and you sell it for Y, when the Y is less than the X, you actually can't make it up in volume. I think the market is quickly realizing that. You can't make up stuff in volume. I think the pricing dynamic around enterprise software is completely changing. And I don't think any smart person has a clue where it goes to. And what I mean by that is this. The value has transitioned completely to the business user, AKA not in building reports and looking at visualization, in the fact that if a chief marketing officer, if a chief risk officer, if a chief financial officer cannot figure out how the raw data can help him make money, solve a regulatory problem, fix fraud, simple examples, they will not write a check for it. And you cannot make it up in volume. So if that becomes the dynamic, and the underlying pieces of the traditional data analytics stack have been commoditized and democratized, two sides of the same coin, then you quickly start going into how do we deliver intelligence that can make money for the business user. And that's where everybody's headed to, because the volume play in software is over. The play is now all around price. So then the P times V, every business P times V. If you can't figure out a way to deliver value and then translate that into an ROI for your business, you're not going to get any I's and hence no R's. And I think that's where we believe we have proven the vision we shared with you, right? It was a very interesting vision. We came to you 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years, we launched Tresera on the Cube, I remember the day, and we said, fundamentally, the ability to find, mine, and monetize customer intelligence will be done in a way that has never been done before. At scale, sampling is dead, the tools are free, and whoever can prove you can do that in the Hadoop stack is worth a lot of money, will make a lot of money. I'm happy to say, in the 5 years of knowing you, Tresera was cash flow positive last year. We are profitable this year. We'll actually pay the government some taxes, give our dues. And that vision we shared with you, and we have a new term for it, we're calling the next generation of enterprise software customer intelligence management. That every single piece of customer intelligence management is done in Hadoop. And you're proving to the business user that the way to understand their customer behavior, mine the customer behavior, and build products and services customers actually want can be done at a scale, at a cost, that dramatically changes their own internal business models. Our average deal size is 7 figures, it's multi-year, and we have today that vision in the market. So today we're announcing the 4th generation of our platform, which is building this new class of software, customer intelligence management in Hadoop. I think that's the core, that's the essence of it.
Now, have you guys still self-funded? Have you done an outside
We're
raise?
still self-funded, no?
So you're paying taxes.
Some people tell me I'm doing it the hard way. I tell people, I guess I'm the only fool who is more interested in making money than raising money. But,
Well, what about scale? I mean, the obvious question there is, how do you scale that business?
It's a great question. I think the reality is, so there are 3 things that we are going to be announcing tomorrow. We'll give you a preview of on the scale part, which are very interesting. Number 1, we do buy, as big beneficiaries Tresera has been of the open source model, we also are big believers in contributing to it. So we're announcing, Tresera Analytics Platform 4.0, and with it, we're open sourcing our application development framework. It's called Scalding on Spark, as my friends at Databricks correct me. And we've put together Scalding and Spark, and as of I think a week ago, it's now completely open source, and it's part of our SDK, and anybody can go into our platform, build on our platform applications, as well as use it to build their own applications in big data in Hadoop. It's completely certified, works in Hadoop, and open source. That's one. That's one big way. So we want to incent people to build applications on top of what we do and what we call the core functions, and then build their own applications in Hadoop and prove to the world that the value, again, is in the last mile of analytics, right? Which we've always spoken about. How do you automate intelligence that humans like you and I can make better decisions at scale? That's number 1. Number 2, we're also announcing that we're going to start giving stuff away for free. The world loves free. You know what I know it.
Powerful concept.
Great concept. So we announced today our data transformation platform is free. So transformation in Hadoop at scale. You want to clean data. You want to go find the Loch Ness monster in the data lake. You can do it for free on Tresera software. So I think that's big. That's another big model for us. On software that we built 4 years ago, that people are building companies now on, we'll give away. Good luck to those companies. I'm sure their investors will be very happy with the announcement, and that's okay. So that's the second big thing on scaling. We're going to give some critical components of our software away for free, so people can figure out the lake. What we hear from customers is, it's great, I'm building a data lake. What do I do with it, right? Lake is great, but without a boat to float on it, without going from A to B, without making any, without some concessions around the stand, you can't make money on lakes.
A lot of people building data swamps.
Yeah, exactly.
Tournament to data
That's exactly right. So with giving away our data transformation for free, we're allowing people to figure out what is in the lake. And if it is a Loch Ness monster, you should run,
You're telling us out of time? We can't be out of time.
You're out of time?
No way.
No.
Yeah.
So
let me
jump
Jeff's
in.
got to get at least one question in
yeah,
here. Come on.
Sometimes Dave lets me ask a question, but let me jump in with a question. So,
Sure.
It's great talking about the technology and bringing applications to the enterprise. But we were talking earlier in an earlier segment with Sri from Hex Data about the cultural changes that need to happen in the enterprise to take advantage of this. Because a lot of times what you're talking about is insights that are going to cut against the grain. You're going to find as a bank that your most profitable customer isn't your most profitable customer, because now I have access to all the data. I'm running applications on customer intelligence and finding out, oh, I've been looking at this the wrong way. That requires you to make some changes in your business processes, in the way you market, et cetera. A lot of change has to happen.
Correct.
And a lot of people have a lot invested in the way things have gone so far. What about that cultural component? How does that change happen to allow enterprises to really take advantage of all of the innovation that companies like Tresata are doing?
That's a great question. I think there are two parts to the answer. One, we have to fundamentally understand how technology has evolved over the last 50 years. And the key part of technology, or any industrialization that moves society forward, is automation. And in order to enable the changing of business models without automating the last vestige, which remains very manual in every single enterprise, which is front office applications. Everything you mentioned, sales. Sales remains a manual task, right? That's why we call the term customer intelligence management. CRM is dumb. CRM is helping you make meetings and reminding you when to meet. When you meet a customer and you can't tell the customer anything intelligent about the customer, it's like your wealth manager coming to you and saying, Dave, what do you think about the stock market? And you go, if that's what I got to do, what am I paying you for, right? So if CRM, and it was great, the last wave of technology automated dumb processes. This next wave of technology is automating intelligent processes that today humans could only do. So in our customer intelligence management suite, we have 4 key solutions built in: identity intelligence, marketing intelligence, risk intelligence, and fraud intelligence. We have a large bank who bought our identity intelligence product for the corporate bank. They took away 400 resources that were doing the front office job manually by automating the task and repurposing them to be exactly what you were saying. If I now know that what I thought was my most profitable customer, simply because Jeff had every single product with me, and I thought as a bank or as a retailer he's most profitable, but when I realized that RB only has one product, but has 50,000 followers on Twitter who are very influential, maybe RB is my most profitable customer. I got to change how I mine the intelligence to get there. You can't get there before you automate it. So we are solving the last mile of technology that needs to be automated will be automated by this class of software we call customer intelligence management. We're going out to 4 areas. Once you do that, you start realizing that you have to retrain the people. But what we're finding is, because technology has become so smart, because we can finally take technology and automate this last era of human-led processes, the retrainings are simple. Because think of it, if you are a retailer, a clothing retailer, and I could tell you that Dave loves wearing ties and cufflinks and shirts with pink stripes. Good on you, my friend. Yeah. You look great. Shirt with pink stripes, and you are at Gap, and you're walking in, and it shows up on an iPad. Anybody can make money on that. What do you train the person on? I'm telling you exactly what Dave likes at the moment when Dave walks into the store, which is a combination of, and if we tell you that, by the way, Dave went on Twitter and tweeted something really cool about fishes, maybe you want to sell him a fishing tie, right? If we can deliver that intelligence in the moment, you don't need rocket scientists to make money on that, right? Mm-hmm. The question is, can we automate that last level of business process? Right. I can tell you, my friends, We can.
Yeah, well, you're doing
That's
it.
what we're doing.
Well, you brought this from your practitioner days. And by the way, it's salmon, I think. Okay, listen, we're going to give you the microphone back at 5 o'clock at our Capital Markets event. Really appreciate you coming on.
Oh,
Wish we had a little bit more time. The planes are backing up, as often happens with theCUBE, as you know, Abhi. Thanks so much, and we'll see you later on at the
pleasure.
Capital Markets event at 4 o'clock today at the New York Times Square Hilton. So thanks again.
I just want to say one thing before I go, which is when you guys, are doing this event on Wall Street, like 5 more years, and the 10th anniversary, you have to wear dollar ties.
Good deal. Green dollars. All right, keep it right there, everybody. This is
Thank you.
theCUBE. We'll be right back with our next guest right after this. This is
Thank you so
theCUBE.
much.